In Japan, the idea of retirement is more a suggestion than a rule. Across the country, you'll still find people in their 80s and 90s working quietly, teaching, gardening, managing small stores, or walking to the same office they've known for decades. Among them is Yasuko Tamaki, now 95 years old, who still arrives at her desk every weekday morning. She works at Sunko Industries, a company in Osaka that manufactures more than 1 million kinds of screws. In 2021, she was officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's oldest office manager. And yet, when asked why she continues to work, she simply says, "The job must be useful to someone. I'm here because I'm needed." Tamaki's story is not an exception. It is a reflection of Japan's quiet philosophy of aging. A belief that purpose is not lost with age, it only deepens. In this country, growing old is not a chapter that ends with withdrawal, but a rhythm that continues, gracefully, patiently, and with meaning. When people around the world think of Japanese longevity, they often imagine diets of fish, green tea, and fermented foods. But food alone doesn't explain how millions of Japanese elders remain active, lucid, and content well into their 90s. The deeper reason lies in something intangible, Ikigai, the reason to wake up every morning. Yasuko Tamaki embodies this idea perfectly. Her days follow a rhythm that hasn't changed for decades, waking at 5:30 a.m., doing 30 minutes of yoga, chanting the Hanya Shingyo, and thanking the morning for her health. Then she walks to work, not for the salary, but for the sense of belonging. For her, work is not a burden. It is a conversation between past and present, between who she was and who she still chooses to be. Japan's oldest doctor, Shigeaki Hinohara, who lived to 105, once said, "Those who stay busy live long because they never stop finding purpose." Tamaki lives by that same truth. She doesn't see herself as extraordinary. She simply never stopped doing what gave her life meaning. In a world that often fears aging, her story is a quiet reminder. The strength of life does not fade with the passing years. It changes shape. It becomes the calm persistence of showing up, of caring, of staying connected. In Japan, this is not seen as endurance, but as grace. Every morning in Osaka, before the city awakens, Yasuko Tamaki begins her quiet routine. At 5:30 a.m., the first sound she hears is the soft ring of her alarm, followed by the rustle of her yoga mat unfolding across the tatami floor. For 30 minutes, she moves slowly, breathing in, bending gently, aligning posture and breath. Her hands tremble slightly, but her movements are deliberate and graceful. To her, this is not exercise. It is an act of appreciation. After yoga, she sits facing the window and chants the Hanya Shingyo, one of Japan's most sacred Buddhist sutras. The words, memorized through decades, are less about religion and more about gratitude, a way to thank the morning for allowing her to wake once again. "Thank you for letting me live another day," she whispers softly. In Japan, these small rituals of stillness carry deep cultural meaning. They are reminders that discipline and gratitude are not opposites. They coexist. Modern science has begun to confirm what Japanese elders have known for generations. Routine stabilizes the mind. Morning practices like stretching, chanting, or mindful tea preparation activate the body's circadian rhythm, reduce cortisol, and anchor emotional stability throughout the day. This connection between spirituality and health is woven into Japan's social fabric. It is not about worship, but about harmony between body, nature, and time. When Yasuko steps outside after her prayers, she greets the cool air as if it were an old friend. The world feels balanced because she begins it with balance. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, who lived to 105, once said that staying active is an act of gratitude itself. He believed that moving the body honors the life we've been given. Like Yasuko, he started every morning early, never in a rush, always with purpose. Both embody a principle deeply rooted in Japanese culture. The day belongs to those who meet it with intention. Yasuko finishes her morning with tea. She pours it slowly, inhales the steam, and takes a small sip before preparing for work. No screens, no news, no noise, only the warmth of the cup and the calm rhythm of breath. It is in these moments, she says, that she finds the strength to face the day. While many in the modern world chase faster mornings and louder motivation, Japan's elders keep proving that longevity is born from quiet consistency. A body that wakes with gratitude stays younger. A mind that thanks the day stays clearer. For Yasuko Tamaki, these rituals are not preparation for work. They are the foundation of life itself. At 95, Yasuko Tamaki still takes the same train to the same building she's entered since 1956. Inside Sunko Industries, a company that produces over 1 million kinds of screws, her desk sits near the window, covered with papers neatly aligned in rows. Her hands move slowly across the keyboard, typing reports, checking documents, writing letters by hand when needed. She's not the fastest worker in the office, and she doesn't try to be. Every letter she types carries care. Every document reflects precision. "I just don't want to make mistakes," she says with a modest smile. Around her, colleagues in their 20s and 30s often stop to help, explaining Excel formulas, adjusting settings, sharing laughter over tea. In return, she teaches them something that no manual can: patience, discipline, and respect. She has been part of the company for nearly 7 decades. She trained 34 employees and still offers advice during new staff meetings. To her, the company isn't just a workplace, it's a lifelong companion. "I can work because the people here are kind. I'm happy to be with them." Her story echoes a quiet truth found across Japan. When work becomes meaningful, it stops being a burden. It becomes a rhythm, steady, human, and full of purpose. Even after 70 years at the same company, Yasuko Tamaki still takes notes like a student. Her handwriting, small and precise, fills notebooks with reminders, corrections, and lessons. At 95, she is still learning and teaching every day. When new software was introduced, she didn't shy away. Instead, she asked her junior colleagues to show her how to use Excel, again and again, until she got it right. Her slow but steady progress turned into quiet admiration from those around her. "She never says, 'I can't do it,'" one coworker says. "She just says, 'Teach me again.'" Once a year, she gives a short talk to the company's new employees. She stands behind a simple podium, her posture straight, her tone calm. She doesn't talk about success or competition. She talks about manners, discipline, and cleaning with a sincere heart. "When you clean, do it from the inside," she says softly. Her words always end with gratitude. For work, for youth, for another day to learn. And perhaps that is her true secret. She never let age stop her from being curious. Across Japan, many elders wake before dawn, not because they must, but because they want to. Some still open their shops, others teach, and some simply sweep their porches with quiet pride. Purpose, it seems, is the invisible medicine that keeps them moving. Doctors have long studied why the Japanese live longer than most. They eat well, yes. They walk daily, yes. But beneath those habits lies something deeper, a reason to wake up. In Okinawa, they call it Ikigai, a reason for being. It doesn't need to be grand. For one person, it's caring for a garden. For another, it's teaching a child. For many, it's simply continuing to help where they're needed. Purpose doesn't just strengthen the mind, it literally protects the body. Research shows that people with clear purpose have lower stress levels, stronger immune systems, and slower cognitive decline. They remain curious, and curiosity is youth's final flame. Whether it's in a factory, an office, or a small kitchen in Kyoto, many elders still contribute quietly, not to prove anything, but to stay part of life's rhythm. As one 90-year-old worker once said, "The day I stop being useful is the day I stop living." In Japan, aging is not a pause. It is a continuation. Each day becomes a quiet act of gratitude, a small promise to remain part of the world. For people like Yasuko Tamaki, work is not about success or recognition. It is a way of saying thank you to life, to others, to time itself. Her story reminds us that staying active is not only about movement, but meaning. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara once said, "Never retire completely. Always have something that keeps you excited." That excitement, that sense of usefulness, is what gives the years their color. Perhaps longevity isn't about living longer. It's about continuing gently, purposefully, until even the smallest actions feel like gratitude in motion.